Hey, what up guys? How you doing? It is Lasty here and welcome to another episode of the 3-tier squad builder. Now, today what we're going to be doing is of course building four squads, and it's going to be based around a league, and that league today is going to be the French Ligue 1. It's a popular league that a lot of people like to use because of a certain striker from Sweden, and we'll get to him in just a moment, but this is tier number 1. This is for you guys who really don't have that many coins, you know. It's a 10 to 15k squad. It features some pretty decent players though, to be fair. And we haven't got any wingers in this formation. We're going with the 4-3-1-2. We've got the likes of Trapp in goal. We've got Yanga and Biwa. We've got Diaby, Tolisso. We've also got a 5-star skiller in this squad in Boufal. You could switch him with Fekir if you wanted to, but actually this year Fekir is like a default striker, I think. So it might not be the best idea to be moving him back to central midfield. We got Fekir at cam, we got Bovu, and we got Ben Yedder at striker. Now, trust me when I say those two are a force to be reckoned with. Like, I'm looking at this squad and I'm thinking, why do I build expensive teams? Because I love pretty much every single player in that squad and I know they're going to perform well. And the clips for this particular tier literally took me like 2 games because they score so many goals. I really love tier number 1 because you haven't got as much pressure on you as if you are, you know, when you use like Zlatan and stuff, because they're so expensive. You pretty much want it to be a god squad when you use him, but sometimes it just doesn't happen, and these guys, they just do the business. Ben Yedder especially, what an absolutely godly little striker he is. I used him in my Road to Glory, I'm still using him in my Road to Glory, and I've used him countless times now in this game, because even for a non-rare, like, he's just got the technique. He knows where the back of the net is. And I love the 4-star skill, 5-star weak foot combo. Actually got on with Bovu a little bit more this time. I've used him once before. In fact, I think I used him in last week's episode when we talked about just France, the nation, rather than the league. And this week, I don't know, I got on a bit better with him. You know, he did some better work. And this was a really nice little chip goal, by the way. Lovely little dink. Just first time. Read that the goalkeeper's coming out, as I thought, you know what, I've got to go for it. So, we move up a tier now to tier number 2. This is for you guys who have around 100k sitting in the bank right now, and you wanna invest that into some pretty decent little French League players on the game. Now, we upgrade the keeper from Trapp to Ruffier, so an 83 rated keeper. I think he's like the joint highest rated one in the league, I think, with like Mandanda or something. We got Van der Weel, we got Kawaza, I'm not sure what his name is, Nkulu and Marquinhos at the back. The defense isn't really that expensive. It's when you move on to the midfield and the strikers that things get a little bit more. Alessandrini and Lavezzi, they're pretty cheap. So is Valbuena in the middle. But the next 3 players, Pastore, Cavani and Lacazette, they're all going to cost you some money. Now, Lacazette this year has been upgraded to like an 84 rated overall card. That's pretty sick. And if you remember anything about last year's Ultimate Team, you know he's going to be an absolute beast. Well, I have to admit, it's completely the opposite. He just doesn't work this year on FIFA. I'm not sure what it is. And players like Cavani, who I would say weren't a great player in last year's FIFA, even though he's a high-rated card always, he's just so much better than Lacazette this year. It's really weird. It's because, obviously, pace isn't as much of a factor as it has been in previous years. Obviously, it still is a factor, but not as much as things like strength and dribbling and shooting. And of course, Cavani's got that in abundance. Like, he can really like fire them home into the back of the net. His positioning is good. Like right here, he just picks up a little rebound. He's always chasing down that goalkeeper in case he makes the save, but doesn't actually, you know, hold it, if you know what I mean. He's also good in the air. That was quite a nice little running, sort of almost a diving header, but not quite. He still had 1 foot kind of on the ground. But yeah, like head and shoulders above Lacazette this year. Pastore is also a really good player. So is Valbuena. I would kind of like to play both of them at cam. Maybe I should have gone 4-2-2 in this formation. But they kind of worked at centre mid, but they just weren't utilised as much as they could have been. Now, we move on to the expensive tier. This is for all of you guys with a lot of coins. You know, this is going to cost you way over $1 million, and that's just the purple Zlatan on his own. He's way over $1 million. We've gone for the inform version of Trapp in goal. We've gone for inform Mendy at left back. we've got Aurier at right back, who's a slightly better version of like Van der Wiel. We've gone for the two expensive centre backs from PSG, of course, David Luiz and 88 rated Thiago Silva. There's a lot of PSG players in this squad, but of course they're the better ones in the league, really. I put Gonalons in and Matuidi into the squad. You could of course have Pastore where Gonalons is if you want, but again, I didn't want it to be completely dominated by PSG. I didn't want it to be an entire PSG team. Di Maria at cam is awesome. We've then got left wing, right wing Netep and Lucas Moura. And then, of course, Purple Zlatan, hero Ibrahimovic up front. 90 overall rated, and he costs like 1 point something million coins. I paid nearly 1.6. I've probably lost about 500k on that, which I don't feel too great about. But the good news about that is that you guys can get him for slightly cheaper because he's around 1.1 something, 1.2 million coins at the present time. And he is a very good player. I got on well with a lot of players in this team, but I have to admit it was harder playing these games than it was using tier number 1. Because, I don't know, I guess nowadays I use the exact same bench every time I play just because I'm trying to get like a good basis. I use a gold bench of like non-rare BPL players, right? And I use that no matter what team. I'm not going for a bronze bench this year, but I do use a non-rare gold bench. And I think this team was probably still like 5 stars and loads of like quite highly rated. So you obviously come up against higher rated teams and better players. And that's the problem that a lot of people find, is that they say, oh, I'm using this expensive team and I get handicapped. Well, actually, no, you're just more likely to come up against other players who have stuck some money into the game and have better players on their team. Yeah, it's just the way it is. One thing's for certain is that IBRA is really strong. he barges people out of the way. I've got alarms going off on my phone. I apologise about that. But he barges people out of the way. He can shoot with either foot. He's got this incredible physical presence. Like, he's massive. He's very agile for someone who's so tall as well, and he just knows where the back of the net is. Like, he's going to score you goal after goal after goal. And of course, he can also score from corners. He can also score from free kicks, penalties, you know, the lot. It's basically, he is the main man in this league to be fitting everyone else around him. Now, this is what I would use if I picked the best player from every single tier of the League on 3-tier squad builder, basically. I wouldn't bother with the inform version of Trap. Don't waste your coins. You know, the centre-backs, Thiago Silva was head and shoulders above everyone. I really liked him. But Nkulu fits the bill nicely. Kazawa, Aurier, Pastore, Matuidi, and Tolisso. That midfield, oh my god, it's just absolutely banging. We've then got Di Maria at cam because I think he is the best out of the ones I've used today. And then Ben Yedder from tier number 1 makes it up front with Zlatan Ibrahimovic, because I think that's kind of a perfect partnership. You got one tall guy who is just physically amazing, and then you got the 4-star skill, 5-star weak foot little guy with a bit of pace. It's a good partnership to have. This is what I would go for in tier number 3. If you have enjoyed the video, then make sure you smash that like button. Subscribe if you're new to my channel. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll catch you next time, guys. Peace.